Hey everybody, just here to do a very quick stream for a capped bandit bounty that I have. Everybody, just here to do a very quick stream for a capped bandit bounty that I have. And I left my Twitch open in another window, so you got a wonderful round of feedback. Okay, just 22 bounties. We'll do a quick spell active. Which open another window, so you got a wonderful round of feedback. So as far as outside spells that I have a 1750 self-charger giving me heroism. I have a 613 self-charger, Cloak of Shadows self-charger, and a Dauntless self-charger. Flashionet's Gift, that was my once per day self-charger. A little bit of time left on there. But other than that, looks like we have 22 on Gildemar Road. So let's head over there. So for those that don't play a wizard or don't do bandits, the most important thing is, even as a wizard, you need to keep 919 up. I realize that wizards have great defense and everything, but realistically, shit happens, especially with bandits. You want to keep up both 402 for the trap detection and all of those wonderful mechanics, and then keeping 919 up, it will help protect you if you get caught in a net or something. And also, don't forget that we now have stop time as well. So, if shit really hits the fan, we can always rely on stop time. Now, explaining the equipment that I'm using, I'm currently using a set of 7X heavily crit padded double leathers, which I have a project piece. I will be replacing those shortly. And then my bow, which you may or may not know something about already. It is 8X, very heavily sighted, tier 5 ensorcelled, and 3-slot fusion. The orbs in there currently are plus 10 dex bonus, and plus 13 ranged, plus 13 spell aiming. So, pretty much perfect for a war mage. In addition, I also have I'm also running 902 to give a even more of an enhancement to my ranged attack. And I also have the God Auction quiver that went out this year. Cost me quite a bit, but you'll notice that my arrows are flaring a lot. I'll go into that more in a moment. I'll just do a quick skills for you. You can always pause the stream and take a look at any of this if you're more interested in it. So that is my bow. As far as my quiver is concerned, it is a mechanical quiver. Like I mentioned a moment ago, my bow is currently 8x, so I only really use Kakor arrows, which are naturally 2x. Help keeps the cost down because Fey wood, it kind of adds up. So with this quiver, I just throw rough arrow shafts in there. I close it, turn the crank, and it makes the arrows for me. In addition, I can cast a spell at the quiver itself, and it will cause the arrows to explode on hit. So right there, you can see, just explodes and shatters in a ball of flames. It also does have the potential to double flare. I think the first attack, yep, you get the standard E-Blade-esque minor flare and then the explosion flare. So the explosion flare is a guaranteed event, assuming that the creature doesn't die, kind of like any standard flaring mechanics. So, as I mentioned before, I'm currently using Kakor because, well, I go through a lot of arrows now. I realize I'm not doing amazingly on stacking or maximizing the duration of Wizard Shield and Haste, but not that important. I mean, as you can see, I'm basically just using using my arrows to kill everything. So this is one of those examples where Wizard Shield is basically saving my ass right now. Definitely always worth keeping that up when you're doing bandits. Or pretty much invasions or anything else where you might be fighting something with a incredibly high AS. I am also in Council of Light, so I'm running eye signs. Other than that, just a pretty typical quick hunt for me. I'm just looking to finish this up, hopefully clear out before our ream run this evening. So, there was also some discussion, because I'd recently done a YouTube video for introducing Stormfront and some of the other options available to new players. So I've been receiving some questions as far as why I use the Wizard when even I recognize the fact that Stormfront has a lot more options and functionality just available to us, a lot more streaming information at your fingertips at any given point. And you can kind of see in my play style, I'm constantly using this stance menu that you can pull up through hitting Alt-S. And it's such a minor thing, but I've become so addicted to it with the way that I hunt and the way that I play all of my characters that I really couldn't not have it anymore. But in a nutshell, that's really the only reason I'm using the Wizard front end. I do clock probably more time in this game than I probably should. I'll start searching for these things. So, I'm also aware of the memory leak issue, and I know that several of our Ream goers do have some issues with the memory leak in Stormfront. So that's also an added bonus. I mean, my computer can definitely handle it. I did a rebuild back in December of 2015, so it's still pretty much fine to handle anything. So, you know, I can handle Gemstone at 4K 60 FPS if I need to. You know, high computer quality right there. So my health is getting a little low, but I'm not super concerned with it. I'll probably heal up after this. With heavy sighting, 2x perception, self-control, actual presence spell, and everything else. Oh, and the very heavy sighting, you can see I hit the eye pretty often. Who just died? Morris. I might go rescue them afterwards, but I'll turn off the stream for that. Just here to do this quick hunt. There's a couple. Two of them. And the other good thing is, because I do have such a high enchanted bow, so two reasons for that. DS is the number one reason. Every enchant that you have on the bow directly adds 1-for-1 to your defensive strength. And even though wizards as a class tend to have an incredibly high DS, even in offensive stance, it's still you still have a few issues as a ranged user and your DS, which you know I have been overcoming with post-cap training, but still, who doesn't want more DS? It's kind of like it's a number that can get higher, isn't that the essence of Gemstone? In addition, it allows me to utilize lower quality arrows. Fletching sucks. There's no way about it. It's terrible. It's time consuming. It's been quite lucrative for me. For quite a while, I was constantly stocking Master Fletched Feywood arrows in my Four Winds Isle shop. I've been getting a little lazy with that. That attack actually took 2 hits. So that's actually it for this. Um, but with a higher enchant bow, you need to rely on well, you don't need to rely on master fletching or really too much of anything, so I can just use a relatively low quality, cheap wood and just go. Anyway, that's really it for everything. That hunt is done. I guess I should at least see what my next task is. Escort. Nope. Alright, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully I'll be doing more of these streams as well.